Alright guys, welcome back to Steve-O's Fishing. Tonight we are going to talk about Prespawn Search Baits. It's getting warmer. We're going to have a heat spell next week for Erie, Pennsylvania, and we're getting very close to being able to go out there and go fishing. I already saw some of the ice on the bay melting, so with the warm front coming up next week, I think we should be able to get out there soon. So let's go. So there's 4 baits that I'm going to talk about today. When I like to use them, what colors I like to use, and where I like to use them for the pre-spawn in order to try to find bass before we hunker down and maybe throw some more finesse style lures to hit the bass that maybe aren't as active. The first bait we're going to talk about is my favorite bait to use pre-spawn. Last year, me and Adam killed it. We probably caught, I'm going to say, probably a good 40, maybe even 50 bass a piece on these lures, mainly these types of lures, and that is the Lipless Crankbait. And as you know, pre-spawn, for some reason, red seems to work so well. So the first lure color I like is this red-eyed shad Delta red color. The reason I like this color is because it's a little darker red. As you can see, it's not super bright, so it'll work in clear or stained color water. It's not super bright, so if you're in super clear water, I think you could still use something like this and not scare away the bass or look something so unnatural. There's also another color I'm going to try. This is one of the new ones I had an unboxing video a couple weeks ago, and this is a little brighter color. So this I'm probably going to use more in the stained color water. And then I also, for the murkier water, I'm going to try, I have this gold, I think this is a Cordell Super Spot, this gold. Any of the liplesses with flash on them are usually better on sunnier days so that the sun picks up a little bit of that vibration and it helps the fish see it, especially in the murkier water. So this I like to throw in murkier water, especially on sunny days. Get that little flash. As you can see, it kind of dances off the light. Then I'm also going to have some, once again, flashier color here. I think this is a Rattle Trap of Bill Lewis. Rattle Trap. It's a sexy shad color, I believe. But this will be more on the sunnier days, once again, in anything from clear to stained water. I think this would work too. And I also have another one that kind of mimics some of the bait fish in the areas that we're going to be fishing here. It's kind of bluegill-ish looking and perch style. We have a lot of that in Lake Erie and the surrounding waters. So it's a little duller than the other ones that have the chrome finish, but this is another Strike King red-eye shad. And then also, especially if you're fishing in ponds, this is a nice color to go with. And it's one of the ones I bought, I haven't yet to try, was the Berkeley War Pig, and that's in a bluegill color. So, once again, the lipless crankbaits I like to use around grass mainly, especially when they get in the grass. For some reason, just ripping them through the grass. I caught so many last year when I thought I had a snag, I ripped it through the snag, and it was a fish grabbed it immediately. They hunker down in those weeds, I think, to stay warm, especially this time of year. And once they see something struggle through there, they attack. Then I also have another type of crankbait to find. This I like to use more around rocks than I do around weeds, so rocks and timber. I like to throw, that's called the square bill. Once again, some different colors. So like colors like this, these are going to be colors I throw in more clear water applications. They look very natural. They're probably not going to show too well in murky water. So clear, maybe stained water, but I like those kind of colors, or crawfish type colors. This crawfish type color, I threw it last year in really clear water at this pond by Adam's house, and it just looked so out of place. So this one I'm saving for really murky water. There's a couple ponds that I can think of that have pretty murky water, so I might try that early on in the year. Then, once again, more clear water options. This one is more of a bluegill style. You can see that coloration there. I like that. And then this is a sexy shad. I think this is a DT series from the Rapala in that color. Once again, those will be more clear colored. And this one as well is, I think it's called like gizzard shad color, but those are going to be your more natural colors, looking like the forage that's around the area that we're fishing. And then for the murkier and stained waters, I'm going to throw this black back chartreuse side. It seems to be one of the best ones out there, that coloration for your stained to murky water. Now those square bills, I like to throw those around more rocks and timber, where the lipless I like to throw around grass, only because you can throw any of these baits around anything. I just like the application more for those types of scenarios. So when I got rocks and I got things I can bounce this off of, that's where I'm going to throw it, versus a lipless where can't really bounce it off of rocks because it doesn't really do anything, where this has a bill and it'll deflect off. And every time that those fish see any type of struggling bait fish, whether you're ripping it through grass or bouncing off of rocks, for some reason they feel that's the best time to pounce on their prey, and that's usually when you get a lot of hits and bites. Then we're going to get into other search baits that I use. The first one is going to be a chatterbait. So chatterbait, I didn't have a lot of luck on it. I think I've only caught a couple of them in my life, but I really haven't thrown it a lot, so I can't really say that it is because it doesn't work. It's more because I just like throwing a spinnerbait better. But I want to try to use more and really determine the best times and places to use these. So what I plan on doing is, if I have a lot of grass, I plan on throwing a chatterbait more. So depending on the water clarity, you can either go with the white, which is going to mimic, your white bait fish, and then what you want to do is throw, a trailer on the end of it. I like the Strike King Speed Shads. Any kind of swim bait type of trailer, it'll give it a nice thump, especially in the murkier water situations. Or you can even throw fluke style baits on there. I got a couple that I plan on ordering. I really want to try the Z-Man Zacho trailers, because they're jointed, soft swim baits, and I think with these types of baits they'll look pretty good. So I got a white. This can be used, you can use it in clear water. It's definitely going to be nice and murky water. And then a black and blue. Once again, I like to use this in more murkier water. It gives a nice profile. And then for the natural color, especially the clear water, I'm probably going to throw more of a bluegill colored bait. And I found some really nice trailers along with the ones I already mentioned, but I do like the Yum Pulses, I think they're called. I have a couple hanging on my thing there. I'm going to order a bunch of those too in different colors, because it gives it a really nice tight little wobble. It's not a lot of thump, so you can use it. I love to use it on swim jigs, but I'm going to try it maybe on some of these spinnerbaits and chatterbaits. Lastly, like I said, I already mentioned it, were the spinnerbaits. These I prefer to throw around wood. You can throw them around grass too, though. I will do that, but I will not throw a chatterbait around wood ever again. I lost too many of them that way. They just seem to get wrapped around that wood and they never get off. So I'm done throwing it. If I know there's wood in the area, I'm sticking with a spinnerbait, because it seems to come around it real well. And for the spinnerbait, I usually throw one of the main colors is going to be the chartreuse and white. This is one of the ones that I bought recently, so I'm going to try that out. Different color plates. This is just an example. It's chartreuse and white. I use it pretty much in most color, stained water, clear water. It just has a really nice profile and the way it looks in the water. I will usually only throw spinnerbaits when it's a little bit of chop on the water, just because it breaks up the silhouette. So when the bass are looking at it from above or seeing it, it doesn't look, because the spinnerbait really doesn't look like anything. Like, what the hell is this supposed to be? So if it's clear water and there is no wind at all, so it's like really calm, to me, I've never had luck with it. So I wait till we throw out. Once it gets windy though, it's hard to beat a spinnerbait, especially this time of year. For some reason, the bass just seem to crush it. I had a lot of good luck last year too. I just couldn't put down the red lipless because we were catching fish after fish, but I wanted to try. We found a whole bunch of fish, so I wanted to try different lures, and spinnerbait was probably my second most successful lure there. So that, this one's a red one. Never thrown a red spinnerbait before. I have one in my arsenal. I'm gonna give that a shot. Prespawn, if the Prespawn red lipless works, why wouldn't this work? So I'm gonna throw that, the white and chartreuse, like I said, and then for the really dark water, murky water, I got the olive yellow spinnerbait with 2 willow blades there. Usually the willow blades I like to use when it's a little less murky. The murkier the water, the more thump I want, so I'll do the ones with the Indiana or Colorado blades on it. So those are my search lures for the Prespawn. I can't wait to get out there. I'm very excited. It's happening soon. This is how I usually try to find the fish. Once I find the fish, then we're going to go on next week's video and show the finesse tactics I use for the Prespawn fish, and also kind of 2 tactics that I like to call in between search lures and finesse. So comment below if you have other search lures that you like to use when you're trying to find these bass in the Prespawn. Thanks for watching Steve O's Fishing, and we'll see you next time.